chiko. Basi kwa kitu kawaida. No. Tunamaliza tu ikweli moja agriculture last pen. ADF. Yao. ADF. Na kwa nini? Toka dukani wakuja wakaya hapo situazi. That you are loaded, as I give you leave.
You know, Helen asks when am I going to say my sweetheart? For instance, vipi?
John was there. Si ananifinya mwili anani. kuna moja tunamalizia one. Kuri ni moja. Kuri ni moja na hata chea anajua, nimemwambia leo ni Friday na wanaume.
Order members. Oh, take your seats. Take your seats. Chief have decided you had two. You can. Can you proceed? Where does it? I'm sorry. Another place. Honorable members, I want to call the meeting to order. Honorable
Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your banner together as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important tasks in this county. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and Lord, that you treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county and country, and in those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen.
Thank you. Agenda, blank. Thank you, Chair. Agenda number 1 is agenda number 2, adoption of agenda. Agenda number 3, introductions. Agenda number 4, administration of work. Agenda number 5, remarks from the Chair. Agenda number 6, consideration of the Women Auditor General report. A report of the Auditor General on the financial statement for the Busia County Project Development Fund for the year ended 30th June 2025. Thank you, Chair. Proposer for adoption of the agenda. For the Omori, proposal for adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Chair.
Introduction. I will say that.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Paul Young Okelo, member of this committee.
Thank you. Next.
My name is Onaga, member of the court.
Thank you.
I'm called Helen, member of committee.
Thank you.
My name is Marina, chairman of the committee. Chair, I'm Honorable
My name is Dr. Rutia Boniface, Chairperson, Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Alfonso.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Marina, secretary, legal officer. I'm Sandrina, chair, research officer.
Rudy Chair, from Ogila Village.
Thank you, Chair. I'm William Ngoma. My name is Bluma Ogia. I'm Sub Officer.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Elizabeth, Communication Officer.
Now the Department of Agriculture, led by Chief Officer.
Chair, members in the Office of the Auditor General, thank you. My name is Elijah Mwaro, Chief Officer for Smart Agriculture. And I want to ask with your kind permission that you allow my officer to introduce himself. Thank you.
Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Michael Oma, Fire Administrator, Busia Development Fund, ADF.
Before the introduction, it was your CEC from Agriculture.
Thank you, Chair. There are other current official functions. There is a functional caucus of all CCC in Mombasa that our CC attended from Monday. He had purposed to be arriving here by this time, but he didn't make. He has sent his sincere apologies and asked that you have your attendant to present him. If you allow, thank you.
Let's suppose we come a bit earlier. It's okay, but is there communication?
chased him away. He's organizing himself in 5 minutes time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important because these are all the rules and procedures. Maybe the function, it may be. Let's do a legal of something, we do that. And then we commence.
I, Elijah Moharobo, do swear that what I shall state before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Thank you, honorable members and Chiefs Agriculture, who is overseeing the implementation or management of this agricultural development fund. We have a report from the Auditor General relating to the performance or management of this fund for the year ended 30 June 2025. In this report, we have 2 queries, 2, 3, 4 queries. With the comparison of members, we have 102 queries. But any member is free to raise. So that's my attention. Just in case there's something that you want us still to add, one of the 2 queries that we have highlighted. Report of Busia County Development Fund for the year ended 30 June 2025. If you don't have a hard copy, you get we have a soft copy in our ward. So we have one to take us through. If there are any evidence that we have written outside the initial report you had, it is determined, but proceed in condition.
This is the report of Busia County Agricultural and this is the political opinion issue. Number 1 is on uncovered loans overlay. The statement of financial position reflects current portion of long-term receivables from exchange transactions balance of Kenya shillings 54,619,353 as disclosed in Note 13 the financial statements. However, the fund did not indicate the dates when the loans were issued, and no aging analysis was provided to show how long the debts were overdue. Further, the amount includes non-performing loans of Kenya shillings 50,730,600 issued between 2016 and 2024. No evidence or explanation was provided by management on why the loans have not been repaid. Management has not taken legal action to recover the loans from the farmers. In addition, management has failed to build a revolving fund as enshrined in the Act and regulations. In the circumstances, the accuracy, completeness, valuation, and recoverability of the current portion of long-term receivables from exchange transactions balance of Kenya shillings 54,619,353 will not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
NCC, I know you can just give us the highlights that address the issue of ex-imbalance transactions, as highlighted. There's this issue of the aging analysis that you consistently always talked about. I don't know if you get it right. So probably in that chronology, you could highlight your response.
On the issues raised as pertains to the we have provided to the satisfaction of the auditors the greatest legal issue surrounding the finding of recoverability and the ability of the loaning agent units to take legal action were the gaps in the Act. In the Act, because the loans were unsecured. 2, they didn't have collateral security, and as such, taking legal action had legal limitations. But even more frustrating were the numbers. If you look at 2004 loanees, if you were to file for 2004 affidavits and cases, the legal fees could be more than the money you are recovering. I'm just saying, 3, and as such, we did amend the law. It was taken to cabinet, where now, going forward, the loans will be secured by way of collateral, and they will be issued through cooperatives, where the shareholding of the member receiving the loan will be the collateral. Because the challenge has been, most of our smallholder farmers here who are women and youth, do not have collateral security to attach for purposes of securing this particular facility, which they need as a catalytic fund for purposes of promoting agriculture. 2, being very efficient because of the numbers that are involved, other people, other beneficiaries. Their financial position is very, very low, because maybe because of the capital that they got, the businesses collapsed, and the absence of the collateral security to attach has been a very huge challenge. However, we are committed. We are engaging hybrid methods, both legal and others persuasive, to encourage them to make good the benefits they received. Chair, thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Chief Officer. At some point, you look promising to do something. At some point, you seem to indicate like you're helpless. Clearly, benefited from, who benefited from this particular provision. There was an annex that you were supposed to verify. Remember, I asked a question that day. We talked about 105. Initially, it was lower than that. But the current data we were informed is about 105 or something. We need to confirm that. Then there was a desire that under Initiative 4, I think it was admission, the list of the list of the sub-county administrators and the sub-county administrators together with the village leads who benefited in that particular respect. And also we required to have that evidence that the deduction for payroll, so this is the kind of issue now. have they started deductions? And if they have, where is the evidence? And then also we're expecting, I don't know, a status report. And I think it's cutting all across the funds. Status report over these 2,000 and what? The 2,000 beneficiaries. Wako wapi? Wamekufa? Wangali wako? Na kama wangali wako, wanafanya bado ukulima? Just an analysis to give us what probably say this is doable, this is not doable, and demonstrate this committee those concerns. I think I will need that information because it's a rejoinder of what I've been done earlier. On the legal action, I think it's provided within the Act. As much as we try to read in isolation, there's some, I don't know, maybe a legal officer will check, but there's some security aspect that was highlighted in the Act in terms of security of these loans. Yes, they need to be confirmed. I don't know if the legal officer is able to check on the Act as we go forward, that we still have to recover this money. As much as we get the cost may be higher, then we can walk to their homes and see if we get a chicken or we get a goat, we report. We use the local administrator and say, you took this money, yes, I acknowledge this and that. So that is something that we need to build to work on. Maybe I don't think I can answer that and allow members to work, but it's a common way. Proceed, Chief.
Chair, thank you. We take your direction with a lot of keenness and humility, and we are guided. Thank you.
Chief, that is not the answer. Do you have a list of those members of staff that are in this annex in the clearance?
Yes, we provide the list.
Which annex here? The staff that is benefited, general staff, then the sub-county and village needs. You can refer to us in annex here.
Annex 1D.
Annex 1D. 1A is a list of loan issued with the dates when the loans were issued and aging analysis. 1B. One B, the new bill.
1B.
D. Or B. These are stuff according to the fonts a bit small. The 64. And then this includes a coded means.
Chair, maybe for purposes of this discussion, like you said, these were an internal administrative issue as a method of recovery of this particular loans. And we have segregated even further beyond this. We will add extra lists because when we wrote to the payroll, we even got more officers and we have proceeded with the classification. We'll be able to provide that is what I was seeking the intelligence. Because when we were coming, we didn't have the guidance of classification in terms of designation. Thank you.
I don't know, we don't have to go to drag this matter so long.
Yes.
If the Senate, when Busia pronounced on a pronoun on this particular matter, that I asked, if you have recalled that date, and I was answered, that the number is 64. But the governor did clarify and say the number has so far increased to 105 or something. So if that information is there, that is something you need to give us here to demonstrate the steps you have taken to separate first those potential areas that you are supposed to do or to collect. I think that is something that should be come to.
Yes.
There's no, this is public money. So if the name appears and it goes, then we should really go to the radio station and say that we want these people to pay back the money they took.
Yes.
And you find that there's the same people who are saying the government is not supporting them. So let's disclose. Disclosure is important. Then two, yes, the list is here. Any demonstration from payroll. I make a communication to payroll, and you have somewhere in annex here. The demonstration from payroll, so that we just move and give members to check.
In that 1D, Chair,
Yes.
the cover letter is a communication to the payroll. Chief Officer, Human Resources. That was on 24th September 2025.
Maybe you can still hear us. Where is it again?
1D, Appendix 1.
1D, yes.
Yes.
Request to effect loan reductions on payroll.
Yes.
It's supposed to be directive.
We are just being diplomatic.
Request is too polite. It's a good directive. And is there a response?
Yes,
Appendix?
there was compliance because it was an internal communication.
No, it's okay. These are passing statements. I'm glad to see the money go. Any response from the Chief of Staff Human Resource acknowledging that you have started that reduction? Annex?
It is not in the annexes.
They didn't reply?
They did not reply.
And did you make any effort to do a reminder?
Yes, we did.
Annex?
We will provide, sir, with your kind interpret.
It's a small action that will indicate what the government is doing to address the audit query.
Yes, yes.
Because if one department is supposed to effect something, and imagine this money, first it was illegal for them to get.
Yes.
Two, we are also struggling to deduct. I know there's one third rule that may be good, but it is certificate. However, members, I think that is allow you to give your decision to the matter or that query. There's something that I think I remember and ask later. Proceed.
Chair, why we just ask, can this loan be written off? If possible. What is required for them to be?
Okay, thank you, Chair. The Honorable Member for the Vice Chair has indicated whether these loans can be written off. And from where I sit, I cannot say yes or no, because the process of waiver has to be provided for in the Act for those who disprove beyond doubt that they cannot, under the circumstances, they cannot be able to pay. And two, even if there were cases that would deserve waiver, that cannot apply to officers who are on a public payroll. So each individual case has to be dealt with on the merits or demerits as relates to writing off. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair. I think we are
addressing the issues of ranging from 2016, 10 years down the line. And this loan was to be settled by 2017. It was a one-year loan. But one thing that I've come to realize, Chairman, is that these issues of funds, the most beneficiaries of these funds are the county government workers. Everywhere you check, whether it is this fund, the other fund, we have assessed almost all funds up to date. Then frontliners are the government employees. But at the same time, it is becoming hard to recover the loan. Does it mean they are intentionally sabotaging the recovery of this loan? Because like here you are seated where you are seated and you are affected with the same problem, and somebody is trying to tell you that put an effort to recover the same. Yeah, that thing is disturbing me because I don't think you have also come to this analysis. It is the government people. When you go to agriculture, government, staff. Business, staff. Where, staff. Revolving, staff. You need to, so that's why I'm asking, is it because of that it has made this work difficult? Because sometimes you can find, we remember we were analyzing another fund whereby you find the chief officer himself is supposed to pay the loan or whatever. Number two, Chair, I know Chief is a new entrant, but I've checked his name is not here, so that.
You may be a farmer.
No, he's a farmer. I know him at a personal level. But now, Chair, the details of this loan is, when we are trying to assess the trade and others, they were trying to categorize per sub-county. Per sub-county, and you can analyze Esonot, Malaba, Nini, Mudalani. How I wish this also could be classified that way, the regions. Number three, have you met these people, Chief, since you joined this and you realize this is a problem? Have you, can you recognize any of these loans outside there? Have you made effort maybe to make interactions outside there, one-on-one, apart from the office work that you have been doing outside? To confirm that these people are living or they are not. We might be chasing on somebody who died many years ago, 10-year period. Some people have exited and they may not be there. You can be shocked. Then my final issues again on that is on these government employees. Chair, they have not indicated their payroll numbers, so you cannot verify the payroll numbers. Which department are they working? I remember we were handling similar matter, but we could get staff being categorized, staff in the Department of Water, Trade, blah blah like that. Their designation, who are they in that department? That has not been shown on this one. Then finally, Chair, I want to ask now the Chief, since because he has made the efforts, I've seen the act here, the Assembly is working on it, that is fine. But finally now that they have been making communications to the Finance Office,
what is the current status? Because we are talking about 54 million loan, okay? We are supposed to recover 54 million. At the moment, how much is in the account? How much is in the account? And has the chief officer, because I don't know why they wrote to chief officer human resource, when we were with the human resource chief yesterday here, and they were crying. You remember, Chairman, we were here with the human resource chief yesterday, handling matters on county public service development fund or what was it? Something like that. And chief also was telling us how we have written letters. So is it the human resource, the chief human resource to effect payment, or the chief officer finance? And if it is finance, I haven't seen any correspondence showing that they have indicated the same to the chief officer finance. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Chief will pick on those queries and will ask you a few. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you, Honorable Member representing Amurai. That was very intensive. I will start with the easiest responses to the hardest in that order.
Which is the easiest?
Who is to effect the payment? I indicate that the issue of payroll preparation is done by the HR people, the public service, and then the byproduct is sent to Treasury, because the salaries of these people are consolidated under public service. So once they send the byproduct, including statutory deductions to finance, they only effect. So finance can only pay that which has been prepared and has different entities as receiver of the byproducts. And that's why we wrote to the Department of Human Resources.
That seems to be the hardest, Chief. And that seems the hardest because since your communication dated, nothing has happened. And it has to be the easiest. Because in terms of administration, they have not executed, not even one shilling has been recovered from Busia. This is the hardest. Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Number two, the member asked about how much is in the account, and I think as I give the answer, I need to indicate that this particular committee gave directions that no amount should be issued to any loanee, and the amount in the account with the recoverables is 6,015,352. Yes.
15 million? 6 million?
6,015,352 and 9 cents. The other question a honorable member raised was on the issue of classification. We have classified up to the ward level, and you remember in our last presentation here, it can be provided. The Ampura West ward was the one with the highest number of defaulters, without prejudice to the chair.
It was an ODM zone.
Now it is fully government, and UDA zone, pun intended.
Yes.
So we have classified so much more and the details, and that's what is guiding us even in the follow-up activities. Yes, we'll provide. Lastly, you are right to observe that the chief officer is not among the beneficiaries and therefore cannot be sabotaged. My line of credit as a farmer is very clean, and I have no conflict of interest on this matter. The interest is to recover. And since February last year when I joined, is when even the attempt to classify the beneficiaries and put measures in place started. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks for that submission. Evidence for 6 million. We want to confirm that from the bank statement.
That is Annex 1C.
Annex 1C, can you confirm that? what? 6,015,000, that is 1C. Then the one for 580,403 shillings. Recoveries. Appendix. 280,403 as evidence for amount recovered. Appendix. Is missing. Then I want the legal officer to check in that draft bill, the section detailing the security of the loans, which has been a problem to us. And also, Chief, in line with that, the legal will be giving that confirmation in that matter be addressed. There has been a pronouncement that we need to amalgamate, put all these funds together and develop a legal framework to operationalize and build the issue of PPP, or getting in partnership with the financial institutions in terms of streamlining. Members can recall when the Department of Trade appeared here today in relation to trade development, in relation to cooperative development fund. They seem to be still working at cross purposes. Every fund is taking direction. I thought there was a direction that you're going to put all this together and come with the one bill that is cutting across all these intervention areas. Trade, cooperative development, agriculture, of course, alcoholic notwithstanding. Because what we're getting is like everybody's running his route. Yet the destination is one. That Mwananchi, that farmer, that business person in Busia who needs support to leverage in whatever they are doing. Legal, you can mention that, and the chief will go to respond. And if members have submitted a question, we get a way forward. Or maybe as they are looking for it, can you just give us a highlight? That particular section of the draft bill that is mitigating on the issue of security in terms of repayment, even adequate measures that have been put for considering the bill that provides safeguards even for identification of these beneficiaries, payments, recoveries, dealing with defaulters, and also dealing with the officers who have taken advantage of being in office to access this money.
Thank you, Chair, for the proper guidance. I did anticipate the specifics of the bill, but it is captured. The bill is in the Assembly right now, the County Assembly, after having been transmitted from the Executive. It has those provisions, and we also have copies if with your
I'm just saying, Chief, we just want to cut it. Just section that we say informed.
What is wrong with that?
Yes, because once we see the issue of security,
yes, thank you. When you look at the regulations of the ADF, or the ADF Act, section.
Which regulations?
No, just the ADF Act itself.
The bill.
I'm saying the Busia County Agricultural Development Fund Regulation 2015 is here.
No, that is already
Yes.
aging. In fact, it's supposed to be fact.
It is the fact.
Now, what we are referring is, we are referring to what you are bringing in as one of the administrative issues of taken to address the legal gaps. So we want to get an insight of the draft bill. Because we are going to do the bill, then do the regulations. The 2015 have expired. We are in 2026. The life is 10 years. And I And I think that's why we given our directive, the recommendation, that you develop a new bill.
Chair, we are at convergence.
Yes, just really give us that detail of security, because the issue was relating on security, disbursement of these monies, recoverability, in terms of default, just that section. So that we see to what extent is it addressing the problem that we have gotten ourselves in because of lack of a legislative framework that is enforceable and also informing.
Chair.
Yes.
I just wanted to first of all point out the gap, then I go to how the cure in the bill. If you
Okay, yes, proceed.
Because the Act is operationalized by the regulations. The current regulation at Section 8 on loan repayment reads, and I read verbatim, that all loans remain unsecured, but its application will be thoroughly supervised through grassroots authority as well as its repayment procedure. All loans in the regulations, the ones that are defunct as you have directed, it says all the loans remains unsecured, but its application will be thoroughly supervised through grassroots authority as well as its repayment procedure. Now that is the lacuna, the biggest gap, that after yes. Now, if you check in the draft bill, under the miscellaneous and general provisions, and under that then there is power to make regulations after the bill has been enacted. It says, the executive committee members shall in consultations with the board and other stakeholders make regulations generally for the better carrying out of the provisions of this Act, and without prejudice to the foregoing, make regulation in respect of the following. Number one, the employment of staff of the board, the receipt, processing and approval of project proposals and granting of loans to applicants, the preparation and maintenance of records for all projects under this Act, conditions and requirements for disbursement or release of money from the fund, public awareness of project funded under this Act, lending mechanism, that is the area of interest, loan application procedures, chargeable interest rates, loan repayment methods, loan recovery mechanisms, terms of reference to the committee of the board, and any other matter necessary incidental to the foregoing. So once this legislation is in place, we will present the regulations that will actualize the Act. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. I think the sugar levels, I think, are moving down. Illegal, maybe we shall interrogate and see, when doing a report writing, to what extent a proposed to be is addressing the issue that we raised. Of course, you've given us the draft bill as one of the stopgap measures that you are putting in place to address that issue of security. I think we can proceed. What the other period was the second one. Let me just see what they can handle in the report writing and in direction. Yeah, that just budgetary control. I think again is affected by your recoveries and lawful operation of the fund. Of course, the act has expired. That's why I was saying defunct. That is something that we really need to work faster. I think there's a priority matters again. Maybe what you need to do, I hope there's an answer here that's detailing the recommendation given to the fund management and what you've been able to do so far. So annex here? Maybe just mention annex here, then we wind it up. Annex, very matters.
Thank you, Chair. The annexes from Appendix 2A, advisory letter from the County Executive Committee member on suspension and disbursement of the fund. It was a prior year matter.
it has been informed.
I don't think that's the thing. We look at it. However, the trial matter is supposed to get the matter, recommendation, what you've been able to do, and the status.
Yes, yes.
So if that's it's here, that's the appendix. Just for confirmation.
From appendix 2C going forward.
Okay. I think the committee will be able to look at that and confirm if it is meeting the requirements.
Thank you, Chair.
So probably members, I can we looked at that. The lucky last fund. So probably I give you closing remarks to the committee and the office of the general. Then we wind it up.
Thank you, Chair. We take your guidance and directions in very good spirit. And from the interactions, we've gotten perspectives. But our very humble request would be, because apart from you being members of the Lead Oversight Committee, you're also members of this assembly, we really ask that you can help us engage with other honorable colleagues to fast-track the legislations that are before you. It will unlock a lot of potential, because if you look at this ADF, the objective and intent was to provide affordable credits to our farmers, which would then be a catalytic fund to enable us be able, and our farmers in Busia who are vulnerable, to realize the objective of turning business from agriculture from just a culture to a business. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for those remarks, Chief Officer. You have technically avoided the issue of the many bills. The Department of Trade Development is doing its bill. The cooperative fund is doing its bill. Agriculture is not doing its bill. I believe probably going forward we look to see that there is one bill probably consolidated that is able to cut across. Then we also probably want to get away from the issue of the PPP, partnership with the financial institutions. Yeah, if that's the way you want to go, what are the regulations? Yeah, what framework, legal framework we need to develop to assist that? But in the foregoing, I still say that we are not happy as a committee because you have not demonstrated to deduct these monies from even the source as a lab, or even boldly being showing you pulled all this stuff that benefited and procedurally, including the act that you read, that the oversight will be done at the security at the ward level and sub-county level. And they ended up taking the money. So you will not demonstrate to us again there something convincing in terms of even calling this staff and talking to them. So you have the minutes showing that you met, this is what we resolved. That is the only way you can push the HR department to execute this. Otherwise, we still feel disadvantaged out of the fact that this fund is remained dormant, yet we have need to make Busia a food secure county. Otherwise, we wish you well, and thanks for sharing up. Next time, please, Waziri, that issue will appear. And it is in communication with this committee to be prepared for much early enough. Also, the Auditor General, thank you so much. It's been a long week for us. I have no better words to thank you, but may the Almighty God just going to give me good health and commitment to serve. And especially prioritizing Busia County. We don't take it for granted. And for the honorable members, please, I thank you so much for the patience. It's not easy to sit on these hours. The Secretariat will be supporting us. I think for the first time, our communication team, this is what we should be doing. So if we don't have this equipment, again, let us know so that we're able to push the management to secure for our record and for future use. There being no other business, this sitting stand adjourned. To Monday 9.